What's going on, true believers? Welcome to another episode of One Shot. I am your host, as always, Jacob. Light week this week, but there were some really good books and some not so good books, as always. Let's start with some of the not so good books. Ta-da! Amazing Spider-Man. Only 2 more issues, I believe, left. Thank God, because this has been awful series. Toxin. This is Extreme Carnage 6 of 8. This one was not as lackluster as the others. It seemed a little more entertaining. Carnage is trying to bring all of the symbiotes together for something. He seems to think that he is in control over everything instead of Venom now. But Toxin is one of the few symbiotes that's actually been able to beat him in the void, which was kind of cool how he did it. Won't spoil too much. But this one was overall good. Makes me more interested to see where this series goes. The Search for Who, number 1. Did not know what I was getting into when I read this. The storytelling the pacing seemed a little fast, maybe, but overall, not a bad book. Story is one we've heard before. Guy comes back from war. He's an ex-special forces, maybe. I don't think they really explained what he was. But he goes home, and his parents get attacked by a rival family, I guess. But it turns out he's been lied to his whole life. He's related to 2 separate mobs, I believe. I think it's China. I can't remember. China or Korea. But he's related to 2 separate families that are at war with each other. And his mom and dad came to America to kind of hide from the gangs. But they eventually found him, shot his parents up. They both survived. But to protect them, he's using his military training to go after the families. Pretty cool. The artwork's really good. I enjoy it. The story's great. Avengers Tech on Avengers. I believe I said before this one was kind of like the one where they get their mobile suits, the Gundam-like things. It's still a little bit like that. The Red Skull has taken away all their superpowers, so Tony Stark built them personalized suits that can kind of fill in for their missing powers. It's an alright story. It's it's one of those shut your brain off and read it. But it's not bad, not super great, but it's okay. Something different. War of the Bounty Hunters, issue 4. This one was pretty good. We got more bounty hunter than anything, which makes these stories quite a bit better. So Boba Fett is now teaming up with what's his name, Vance from the Bounty Hunter series, and Dengar was there. They're all fighting each other, but then they kind of come to an agreement, and normal stuff. Not super great story, but it's been better. It's better than it's been. I'll say that much. Batman issue 112. This one had, it seemed, a lot of the same panels as Fear State Alpha did. There was a lot of the same things, but then it goes a little bit deeper to where Batman finally meets up with the Bat Gang, and he's telling them all that happened. His brain's been compromised. He needs Ghostmaker. Um, the Peacemaker one is going nuts because of the fear toxin. So the Magistrate program creates a new Magistrate, the Peacemaker X. He's like an off the books Peacemaker. This story's not bad. It's pretty good. Still don't really care for the Insanity Collective and Miracle Molly and stuff because they're not doing anything. They didn't do anything. They hyped her, released her, and what? Nothing. Again, it's that Punchline. The same thing with Punchline. Hyped, overhyped. They released her, and then falls flat. Pretty much trash. But the main story here is pretty good with the Fear State. I do enjoy Scarecrow. Red Shift issue 2. It seems like it's been forever since issue 1 was released, so I kind of forgot what was happening. But the main character that we follow was asked to be in the Voyager, I think it's the Voyager program, where they're sent out to try to find another planet that can sustain their lives because Mars is tanking. But the main character, he turns it down because his mom was on the program and she never came back, and nobody that goes on this program ever comes back. So he's like, nah, I'm not doing it. So they pick somebody else. And I think it might be a girl that he likes or knows or something. And they give him a second chance. They're like, do you want to go on that? So he kind of stows away. Normally it's only one person that goes out, but now there's two there. And the person that replaced him is very upset that they sent him along and that she was the second choice. But now they're taking off to find a new world. This book has been pretty interesting, and I just wish that they would release them a little more frequent, because between the first one and this one, I don't know how many months, and I kind of forgot the storyline, but it's a good story. Khazar, Lord of the Savage Land. This is a Peach Momoko cover, as was the Avengers one, the mechs, the outfits that they had. I know nothing about Khazar, and I saw number 1, and I thought maybe this would be a good place to hop on. It's okay. I suggest doing a little more research to learn who Khazar is. They do a little bit of explanation, but Khazar is living in the Savage Land with his wife and son, and his son is kind of like going through that teenage phase where he kind of just wants to be himself and do things, and his parents are on his back, and it seems like this one might be a little less about Khazar as opposed to his son, maybe like a coming of age thing. Who knows? But it was okay. Obviously, I'm not fully invested in it because I know nothing about the main characters yet, but I'll pick up a couple more issues and see if I like the story or where it's going. The Nice House on the Lake, issue 4. So we're learning. I thought this one was going to be more of the same thing. I thought it was going to be boring, and it started out to be more of the same thing, but then in classic James Tynion fashion, we get hit with tons of information. So now we've learned that they were running out of supplies and things, and a notepad and stuff showed up, and they figured out that if whatever they wrote on it would show up at their door the next day. But nobody can watch the delivery. Nobody sees who's delivering, where it comes from. And a few things weren't being delivered. This one woman, obviously, she was asking for her husband. She wanted her husband there. And then she started getting suicidal, so she started ordering a straight razor, which wasn't being delivered. But one of the other guys that was kind of invested in this, he's just there. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's like, I get it. You're not being given the choice. I think you should at least be given the choice. So I ordered the straight razor for you. But then they test it out and they realize they cannot die. They cannot be killed there. And that's kind of where it left off. This story, man, is so good. If you have not started reading The Nice House on the Lake, if you can find any of the back issues, absolutely do it. 100%. This is a great story. I wouldn't be surprised if this gets optioned for a Netflix series sometime soon. Not All Robots, issue 2. The first issue was kind of a random pickup for me, and I absolutely loved it. And I've got to say, this yellow cover is fantastic. I'm all on board with these yellow covers that have been coming out lately. But this one was a great issue as well. In the last issue, there was a robot who was in control of the Orlando bubble, kind of the Disney World section, and he somehow screwed up the oxygen levels and wound up killing like thousands of people. So the robots put him on trial, and like within 3 seconds they're like, okay, not guilty. And the humans are mad, so the humans are heating up, and then the robots are mad because robots are being humiliated by having to change their names to nice soft things so they don't scare the humans. And the robots are being replaced with more human looking robots, and they're not happy about it. They're losing their jobs to these other robots. So humans lost their jobs to robots. Now robots are losing their jobs to other robots. They're not happy. So now there's an underground of a robot group and a human group that is upset, and it looks like they're preparing for a war. This series has been great. Super excited to see where this one heads. Was not expecting any of this story. This story is amazing. All right, and now I'm going to show you something I got in the mail. This is called Godslap. This is one of the many multiple covers that was released. This was I don't want to say, it might have been a Kickstarter type thing. I can't remember. It was a while since I ordered it. But if any of you know the YouTuber Moist Critical, he is one of the co-writers of this book. He's a super huge fan of the slap fighting that's going on now, so I think that's where this kind of gets a lot of its ideas from. But there's a guy. This book was really short, so there wasn't a lot of detail or anything, but there's this guy who seems to have superhuman slapping abilities. Like, he slapped a camera and caused the TV on the other end to kind of explode and kill a guy. He slaps people and their heads blow off. It's just gory fun, if that's your kind of thing. I don't know if this will ever make it to mass markets, but I just wanted to showcase this. It's just funny. Godslap. All right, and a few of the back issues I picked up. Web of Venom, Venom. This is the second printing. Issue number 1. I have not read this. I believe this is a Donny Cates series, but I don't know a whole lot about it. But the second printing caught my eye. I like the picture of it, and I think it might actually go for a little bit of money too, which is nice. And to follow the Punisher motif, I wanted to start reading some more Punisher stuff since there's nothing out there right now. So I picked up Edmondson's The Punisher issue number 1, issue number 2, and issue number 3. I thought the cover art was really cool, so hopefully the story is pretty good. I might pick up more issues. If you see more issues coming in, you know I liked it. And then another one I picked up, Marvel Zombie issue 1. This is a homage cover to a horror magazine, and I thought that was super cool, so I picked that one up. And then Adventure into Fear, The Man Called Morbius, the Living Vampire, number 24. This is the first time that Blade and Morbius fight or even meet. This book is really hot right now. This copy is not in great condition at all, but I only paid $3 for it. So thanks to Doug at Heroes and Games for the good deal on that. Now I just have it in my collection and can pull it out and say, hey, I got it. It's pretty cool. Well, that is all I have for you today. If you liked what you see, hit that like button, subscribe, leave me a comment. It helps the YouTube algorithm out. Help other people find me. Leave a comment. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what I should be reading. I'm always looking for new stuff. What am I missing out on? I know there was a few books this week that I think I missed. But let me know. And you guys, as always, have a good day.